All right, so hopefully everybody has a strap. We're going to use a strap today. If you have a yoga strap, we will put it together. And if you're just using something like a belt, then no worries if it doesn't go together. We'll modify. Let me just adjust my camera here. Okay, that's better. Sorry about that. Okay, so we're going to start laying down on your back. It's chilly this morning. Went for a walk. I think it was in the 40s. I'm not ready. I'm not ready for the cold yet. Oh, okay, so let's take a few minutes here to just settle into your space, settling into your practice. Checking in with yourself and just noticing what you're feeling. Noticing how you're feeling. And noticing where in the body you're experiencing these vibrations, these feelings. And then just start to breathe a little bit deeper than you normally do. Relaxing the muscles in the face, the space between the eyebrows and the jaw. Relaxing through the neck and shoulders. And then just feel the nice, gentle rise and fall of your chest and belly as you breathe. Let the back of the body feel supported by the floor beneath you. And letting the chatter in the mind quiet down. So really try to keep your thoughts quiet and keep your awareness to your practice. So what you're feeling, how you're feeling, just notice. As you move, as you breathe, as we hold poses, just try to stay super present. And if the mind starts to wander, just bring it back to the breath. And you can even just repeat to yourself, breathing in and breathing out. Just keeping it simple. And then from here, let's hug the knees into the chest and just rock left to right a little bit. You can make some circles with the knees, moving in one direction and then moving in the other. And then we'll lift the feet up towards the ceiling. You can hold on to the backs of the legs as you flex and point the feet. Make some circles with the ankles in one direction and then the other. And then leaving the feet up towards the ceiling, we'll take the arms and reach them up and back. So the tops of the hands reach for the floor behind you. Relax the shoulders, relax the space between the shoulder blades. Opening up through the rib cage. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, hug the knees into the chest. And let's take 3 breaths like that. So inhale, arms reach, feet lift. Exhale, hug the knees in. Inhale, arms reach, feet lift. Exhale, hug it in. Really let that breath out. One more time. Inhale. And exhale. We're going to take both feet down to the floor and let your feet be on the floor about mat width apart. And then just gently let the legs fall to one side. Inhale, bring them back to center. Exhale, let them fall to the other side. Start to feel a little stretch in the low back as well as the tops of the thighs, the hip flexors. So just moving gently left to right. releasing a little bit of tightness in the back. Getting the hips to move. Moving through the thighs. And then we'll come back to center, bring both feet closer towards each other, and then we're going to take the right foot up into the strap. So the right foot goes into the strap. If you have a yoga strap, place the loop around your head so it's at your upper back. If you're just using a belt, then just hold on to it with your hands gently. And if you don't have a strap, then you can just hold on to the back of your leg with interlaced hands. So no worries if you don't have the strap. The left leg is going to go straight along the floor. If you have a yoga strap, let your arms completely relax. Otherwise, you're holding gently. Little movements here. You can bend and stretch the knee, finding the pose that is going to work for you, where you're at the deepest expression of the pose. So you're actually feeling a lot, but you're not in pain. You're not stretching or pulling too hard. You're just easing into the depth of the pose, and then you just breathe. Close the eyes. Focus on your breath, just bringing the breath in through the nose. Feel the effects in the body where you feel in the chest and the belly, and then exhale. And when you exhale, see if you can feel a letting go, a release. Maybe the shoulders relax. You can flex your right foot a little bit more. You can peel the right toes back. You can reach your right heel up towards the ceiling. So as we lengthen through the back of the right leg, we're releasing tightness and tension throughout the low back. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Let's soften the right knee, and then you're just going to let your right foot reach over to the right. So again, using the strap, or you can just support your right leg with your right hand if you don't have a strap. Lengthening through the inside of the right thigh. Opening up the left hip, extending the foot away from the hip. And then just pause and breathe. So the beginning of the practice, we focus a lot on releasing the muscles that attach to the low back. But we hold these poses, which really challenges you to stay present. When the body is still in a pose, it's pretty easy to start thinking about other things. So try to keep your awareness here, on your body, on your breath. Take a full breath in, and then as you exhale, soften the knee. We're going to bring the right leg through the center and then reach over to the left. So the right leg is reaching over to the left. You can have your right hand on your right hip if you'd like. If you don't have a strap, you're supporting your right leg with your left hand. Otherwise, use the strap to support you. Staying grounded down through the right side of the body, through the right shoulder and the right hip. Flex the right foot, maybe turn your right toes down a little bit. And then just breathe through whatever it is that you're feeling. This IT band can be super tight, so just continue to use your breath to find that release. In through the nose, out of the mouth. Take a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, let's soften the knee. Bring the right foot back to center. We'll let the foot come out of the strap. Hug the right knee in to the chest. You can point your right foot, make some circles just to do a nice counter movement to having the foot so flexed. Bending the left knee, put the left foot on the floor, and then we'll come into a gentle figure four. So reaching for the back of the left thigh, just gently draw the left knee in towards your left shoulder. So remembering that the hips carry a lot of tightness and tension physically, as well as holding on to stress, anxiety, depression. So take your time here to let the thoughts be quiet. Notice what you're feeling. And try just to lessen the intensity of what you're feeling. So if you're feeling stressed or anxious today, just let the breath lessen that. If you're feeling super relaxed and you're just present, then use your breath to enhance that. So just processing the feelings with your breath. Allowing the body to just relax. After a few breaths, maybe you go a little deeper, drawing the left knee in just a little bit more. Pressing the right knee away from the right shoulder. Relaxing the muscles around the right hip. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, let's release and let the left foot come down to the floor. Here we're just going to keep your legs in a figure four, and then just let the whole shape of your legs drop over to the left. If your right foot can come down to the floor, then let it be there. If it's feeling like it's too deep, then lift the right foot and just rest it on top of the left leg. If that feels like too much, then just move the right foot back to the center of your mat with the bent knee and just let your left leg open. So depending on where you are, maybe you can take your left hand onto your right ankle. If you have your ankle, use the energy in your right thigh to draw your right knee away from you. You might feel this in your low back on the right side. So you're just giving yourself a little bit of a stretch in the low back, keeping your right shoulder down. And if you're feeling really adventurous and flexible here, you can take your right hand and reach it for your left foot or ankle, but don't feel like you have to. That's a little twisty, it's a little deep. Just trying to find length through the tops of the thighs, releasing the hips and low back. Take a full breath in, and then as you exhale, slowly come out of that pose. Release the legs, uncross them, or hug the knees into the chest. Rock left to right. We'll take 3 breaths, inhaling, reaching the arms up and back, feet lift. Exhale, hug the knees in. Inhale, arms reach, feet lift. Exhale, hug the knees in. One more time, just like that. Inhale, fill up, moving with the breath. And exhale to empty. We'll take both feet on the floor, and the left foot is going to come into the strap. So left foot comes in. If you're using a belt, just gently hold. And if you don't have any prop, then just interlace your hands behind the left thigh. We'll let the right leg go straight. Try to relax to the upper body. Tighten or loosen your strap as needed, and then just pause here and breathe. Relax the face. Relax through the shoulders. Nice flexed foot. Notice the difference. So when you don't flex your foot, you feel maybe a little bit less, and then when you flex the foot, you can feel the stretch all the way from the back of the leg all the way down to the hip. Breathing deeply. Sure if Donna's with us, but I loved what she said at the beginning of the class when I asked her how she was doing, and she said she's always doing great. I love that. So even if that's not true, we can tell ourselves that and answer that question when people ask. Don't you love when you ask someone how they're doing and they say I'm awesome or things are great? It's so different than when you ask somebody else and they're like, oh, things are so awful. This is the story we tell ourselves. We have control over our thoughts, so it just depends on how we want to think and how we want to feel. Take a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, let's soften the knee. Reach your left foot over to the left and just pause and open. So another example of that, the way you can control your thoughts and your feelings, is at the beginning of having my whole family home. It was creating a lot of chaos in my house. It was constantly a mess, loud, people everywhere, people constantly eating. And it felt like a lot of stress and negativity to me, and it was making me feel anxious. But now, I've changed that narrative just a little bit. Before I continue, let's let the left leg come back to center, travel over to the right. So normally, my husband would leave at the crack of dawn and not be home till 7 p.m. My kids are both in high school, so they would leave at 6:50, and they both play soccer, and they wouldn't be home till 5. But now I have everybody home. It's just so nice. It's such a gift to have this extra time with my family. We're all sharing the same space. We get to see each other and share our day throughout the day. Baking muffins and having healthy food together. So just changing how we're looking at the same picture, the same situation, the same circumstance. Just change how we think, which will change how we feel, which will change how we act. All right, let's take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, let's bring that left leg back to center. We're gonna release, hug it into the chest, point the foot, maybe make some circles. We'll bend the right knee with the right foot on the floor and cross the left ankle over the right leg, and then just draw the right knee into the chest. A little gentle shift of the shape of the legs over to the right so that you can draw the right knee in to your right shoulder. And then just relax here and breathe. Noticing what you're feeling around the hip. See if you can soften. Let that go. The eyes be closed. I find that closing the eyes really helps me get the internal benefits of the practice. We put our body in this physical shape, and yes, we are getting so many external benefits in the hip and the back. But then just being able to close the eyes, quiet the mind, see what you feel. I just find it helpful to block out any visual distractions. So take a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, we're going to drop the right foot down to the floor, and then the shape of the legs is just going to go to the right. So you can adjust. If it feels like too much, having the legs like this, you can take your left foot off, you can bend and just let your left knee stack on top, or have the left foot over. So just depending on where you want to be, see if you can reach your left ankle with your right hand. So my foot is not completely on the floor, it's more in that figure 4 still. My foot is actually a little bit more on the thigh, but I really feel a deep stretch in the left side of my low back here as I try to keep the left shoulder down. So this is just a different version of a twist. If you don't like it, come into something that you do like. And then again, if you want to take your left hand and reach for your right foot, you can. If that feels crazy, then don't bother. Don't even worry about it. Take a nice full deep breath in here as you fill up the whole left side of the body. And then let's exhale, come back to center with the legs. We'll take the feet mat width apart, make sure the hips are even, and then just let the legs gently fall left to right. So just a windshield wiper movement of the legs, reaching the knees away from the hips. And then we'll come back to center, hug the knees into the chest, and then you can either cross one ankle over the other and rock front to back to rock yourself up to sit, or you can gently roll to one side and press yourself up. And then moving the strap out of the way, we're going to come on to hands and knees. Oh good, Donna is with us. I love her positive energy. You'll notice that if you don't realize that people have energy, when someone walks into a room, you can tell if it feels like a ray of sunshine has come in or if a dark cloud has come in. I try to be around people who are more sunny. Okay, so we're coming on to hands and knees. Your knees are underneath your hips, your wrists are underneath your shoulders. We're just going to move the spine. As you inhale, curl the toes under, drop the belly, and lift the chin. And then as you exhale, tuck the chin, round the back. Again, inhale, curl the toes under, drop the belly, lift. Exhale, tuck and round. One more time, just like that. Inhale, curl the toes under, lift. And exhale, tuck and round. We're going to come back to neutral spine here. And then we're going to step the right foot back and step the left foot back. And you're in a plank pose. We're just going to hold the plank pose for a moment. If this is way too much, then drop the knees. Just try to open up the space between the shoulders. Feel the belly drawing in. This is really good for the bones in your arms. When you weight bear on the arms or the legs or on your bones, you're increasing your bone density. So thinking about that through the shoulders. So just able to breathe. We're going to drop the knees and relax the tops of the feet on the floor. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, bend the elbows and lower about halfway down. Inhale, push back up. Exhale, hips go way back into a child's pose. Flowing with the breath. Inhale, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, bend the elbows, lower the chest down. Inhale, push back up. Exhale, hips go back. One more time like that. Inhale, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, bend the elbows, lower the chest. Inhale, push back up. Exhale, hips go back. Pause here in child's pose. Let your forearms come down. Let your forehead come down. Just take a moment here to lengthen through the spine. Relax the back of the neck. Ground down through the forehead. Relax the shoulders. Breathing deeply. From here, we're going to come back up onto hands and knees, but you're going to lower down onto your forearms. So now the forearms are looking like the number 11, so they're parallel. Hands are going to be relaxed, so not in fists and not clenched together. We're going to step the right foot back and then step the left foot back. If this is too much, drop the knees, drop the tops of your feet on the floor and press the tops of your feet down. If you have the knees lifted, pull your belly in and up, relax the shoulders. So let there be space between your ears and your shoulders. Let there be space between the shoulder blades. Feel the backs of your legs strong. Belly is drawn in and up. So being able to support your back is super important, especially when a lot of us carry tension in our backs. So having a strong core is not just a strong belly, but it's the strong muscles that support your spine and the back. So continue to breathe here. Take a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, lower all the way down. Make a pillow with your hands underneath your forehead. Bend your knees and windshield wiper the legs left to right. Relax the back. Okay, so we're going to let the feet come down to the floor. Your forehead is going to stay attached to your hands. It's really important to have strong muscles in the back, not only to support your back from injury, but also to help with posture. So it helps to keep our posture nice and straight and tall. So from here, as you inhale, you're going to lift your head with your arms. Doesn't have to be high. And then exhale, lower. If you want to leave the arms down, you can inhale, lift just the head. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. I like the forehead attached to the hands because it makes your neck stay neutral. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. So you come down just as slow as you go up. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more time, just like that. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Okay, we're going to add on. As you lift your head, you're also going to lift your legs. Inhale, lift. See if you can initiate this from the thighs. Exhale, lower. Head and legs lift. And lower. Nice and slow and controlled. 3 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale. One more time. Breathing in and breathing out. Completely relax. You can turn your head to one side, bending the knees, windshield wipering the legs, left to right. Relax the back. Relax the shoulders. We'll let the tops of the feet come back down. We'll take the hands by your chest. Take a full breath in, and then as you exhale, just push yourself up and back. Child's pose. You can let your head drop down. You can let the tops of your hands rest by your feet. So we'll just take 5 breaths from here. If you're interested in a little bit of a more challenging resting pose, you can come into a downward dog instead. Upside down V. You can bend the knees. You can straighten them one at a time. Don't feel like you have to ever come into downward dog. If you have any issues with your shoulders or wrists, you don't have to. But sometimes it feels good to really stretch out the shoulders and the back. I like to always have my knees bent in downward dog. Child's pose is just as good. So whatever pose you're in, breathe deeply. And then let's come on down, back onto hands and knees. And we're going to step your right foot forward up between your hands. So if you have blocks, you can place them on either side of your right foot. If you don't have blocks, no worries, you don't have to. So just coming here for a moment, check in, look at your right knee, make sure it's over your right ankle. Your left knee is back. Our hips are going to drop down. So you're opening up your left hip flexor right here, your left hip flexor, because your hips are sinking down. But as the hips sink down, my right knee doesn't move. It stays right where it is. Just pause here. Let the weight of your hips release that left hip flexor. So tight hip flexors can lead to tightness in your low back. So we're just taking a moment here to find that release, let it go. You're just using the weight of the hips. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, let the hips lift a little bit, curl your left toes under, and now you're going to lift your left knee. So the left leg is now strong, focusing on the back of the leg, the thigh. Right knee has not moved. It's right over the right ankle. If you want to challenge your legs and get a little stronger, you can come up onto fingertips. Maybe you lift your hands off of the floor. Maybe you reach your fingertips behind you, palms up. Try not to rest your torso on your thighs. So pull your belly in and up. Both thighs are strong. Again, this is really good for not just the muscles, but the bones and your joints, your knee joints, your hip joints. Building a lot of strength in those areas of the body are super important. Take a deep breath in and then exhale. Hands come down. The left knee is going to drop. Left foot relaxes on the floor. We're just going to pull the hips back and let that right leg go straight. Straight-ish. It doesn't have to be straight. Toes can be down, or you can lift your toes up. I like the feeling of down right now because it's stretching out the top of my foot at the ankle. I get shin splints a lot, so this feels really good to have my foot down. It's up to you. Let the head hang heavy. Take a deep, full breath in. And as you exhale, we're going to pull that right foot back. It's going to land about a foot behind your hands. It's right underneath the knee. Curling the toes under of the left foot. You're going to push off and be standing on your right foot. So again, a lot of strength here in your standing leg. Focusing on the bones If anybody has osteoporosis, where the bones start to get a little weaker, this weight bearing is super important. So flexing your back foot, belly's coming in and up. You're just standing on that right leg. If you would like to challenge yourself, you can leave your left hand where it is and reach your right hand up towards the ceiling. Pause here and breathe. Belly is in. Shoulders are stacked on top of each other but away from the ears. Take a full breath in, and then as you exhale, right hand comes down, left foot comes down, bent knees, belly hanging onto your thighs, resting on your thighs, not hanging. Our bellies don't hang, they're strong. Let your hands come down, let your head hang, just giving the body a moment to be in an inversion, oxygenated blood going from the heart to the brain. Release the back of the neck. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. And then you're going to make your way back into your resting pose 5 breaths. So maybe you just step one foot back and then the other and you're in a downward dog. Or you come down onto the knees and shins and you take a child's pose. So it's up to you, whatever your body is feeling, whatever it's looking for, that's where you're going to be. So child's pose. Resting through the hips, lengthening through the spine. Same thing with downward dog, lengthening through the spine. If it doesn't feel right on your shoulders and your wrists, then don't do it. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, we're going to come back up onto hands and knees and step your left foot forward. So again, using blocks if you want to, stacks of books, or just tented fingertips. Notice the left knee is not passing the left ankle. Scooting your right knee back so that your hip can sink down heavy. Get deep into the hip flexor here. Pull the shoulders back. Open through the chest. This should feel really good. It's a hard muscle to get into, that hip flexor. But this is a perfect way to get into it and relax your low back. Just getting into the quad, so opening up the top of the thigh. Sometimes tight quads can lead to tightness in your low back. So just breathe through here. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. We're going to curl the right toes under, lift the right knee. You're in a low lunge, super strong legs. If you want to feel how strong they are, then try not to take so much weight in the hands. See what happens. Your belly is drawing in and up. Chest is open here. Legs are grounding down, super strong. Feel your back thigh and your front thigh. Thinking about the muscles and the bones and the ligaments around your joints, the hip and the knee. Super important. Fire those up. Get them nice and strong. Take a full breath in. And then as you exhale, hands come down. Drop the right knee and the right foot. And then just hips go back. You can let your head hang. Maybe you feel the stretch here in your shoulder blades, the top of your left foot, maybe where the shin or the top of the ankle, letting your left foot be straight. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. We're going to slide the left foot back so it's grounded down on the floor under your knee. Hands can stay on blocks or on the floor as you push off with your right foot and you're coming up onto your left. The right foot is flexed. Standing on your left leg, stay right here. You don't have to go any further. If you would like to challenge yourself, you can come a little bit deeper by keeping your right hand where it is and turning your left torso, the left side of your torso to the left as you reach your left hand up. You might fall in and out of the pose, that's okay. Able to breathe. Beautiful. Take a full breath in, and then as you exhale, right foot comes next to the left, soft knees, maybe you hold on to opposite elbows, and just take a moment to hang here. You can sway left to right. Letting the head hang heavy. And if you have blocks, you can move them out of the way. Hands will come to the floor. We'll step the right foot back, drop the right knee, left foot back, drop the left knee. Pivot both feet over to the right. Come down onto your left hip. Swing your legs around to the front. Bring the soles of your feet together. Hands on your ankles. So take your time to get there. Inhale, lengthen through the spine. Exhale, fold over your legs. Close the eyes. Breathing deeply. You can let the head sway left to right. And let the torso sway left to right. Lengthening through the spine, opening through the hips, relaxing through the neck and shoulders. Take a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, slowly make your way up. Bring the feet to the floor and then just make your way onto your back. So gently rolling down onto your back, hugging the knees into the chest, rocking left to right. We'll take both feet down to the floor. Knees are bent. Your feet are going to come into your hips towards your seat. Palms are down by your sides. And we're just going to move with the breath a little bit here. So as you inhale, arms reach up and back, hips lift. As you exhale, arms come down, hips come down. Again, inhale, arms reach up and back, hips lift. Exhale, lower. So this is getting again into the tops of the thighs, your hip flexors. Inhaling to lift. Exhale, lower. Just take a few more of these on your own, moving with your breath. Nice and slow. next exhale, we'll pause. Draw the knees into the chest. We'll take the knees wide. Lift the feet. You can either hold on to your ankles or shins or hold on to the outsides of your feet. Rock left to right. Relax the back, shoulders, hips, inner thighs, outer thighs. I feel a lot going on when I come into happy baby pose. But then just close the eyes and smile. Take a deep breath in and a full breath out. Let's slowly release the feet down. If you'd like to take the soles of your feet together here and let your knees open, you can take a few breaths here and just see how that feels in your hips and your back. If it feels like too much, then just bring the feet to the floor, mat width apart, and let your knees touch. So it's just an opposite feeling. So you can either have the knees open or you can have the knees together. So just take a moment here. We're going to place the right hand on the belly and the left hand on the heart. So you can decide what feels better for you and your body. Let the eyes be closed. Relaxing the space between the eyebrows. Relax the jaw. Soften through the neck and throat. Relax the shoulders. Feel the rise and fall of your chest and belly as you breathe. Let your back feel supported by the floor beneath you. Let go of any last bit of tightness or tension you may be feeling in the hips. And before we transition out of Shavasana, I'd like you to set an intention for the rest of your day. What kind of day would you like to have? You can set the tone. You create the narrative. You may not be able to change the circumstances of the day, but you can change and influence your thoughts, which will affect your feelings, which will drive your actions. So what do you want to do today? How do you want to feel? How are you going to think? It's all up to you. Keeping the left hand where it is, we're going to place the right hand over the left hand. And remember that we are all connected. Not only are we here with each other, but we're here for each other. When you're ready, you can slowly begin to bring small movements back into the body. You can take your time to slowly transition out of Shavasana. And once you come out of Shavasana, just take a moment to sit. So just sitting upright. If sitting on the floor is not comfortable, you can sit up on something, a cushion or a pillow or even a chair. And just take a moment to let your practice settle. Let your breath flow with ease. Take the palms together in front of your heart center to honor your practice, honor yourself, and honor each other. Namaste.